Okay, I am recording. Um, and I'm gonna mute you guys. Participate. Okay. But yeah, if you have a question, you could just raise hand and chat me and I will stop. Okay, so I actually wanted to ask you guys a question. I muted you guys, but I was going to ask you, like, how do you feel about the energy change? You could unmute it if you want to talk about it. How do you feel about the energy change? Do you feel any difference? Because we're going through a major ascension going on, and the whole solar system, the energy is changing. It's upgrading to the age of Aquarius, and it's becoming more and more, people are becoming more and more spiritually awakened. Okay, so there's definitely some kind of sign or differences that you should be feeling. Maybe you'll see more crazy dreams, or maybe things are manifesting more easily, quickly. Oh, you can't sleep. Oh, that could be one of the energy shift that's going on. You're being watched at night. Oh, that's creepy. If you don't feel comfortable about being watched, I never felt that way. Actually, I did, but if you don't feel comfortable about the spirit that's watching you, maybe you could ask them politely to kind of get out of your life, stay away from your life. Or if you feel like it's not a positive entity, you could just, protect yourself. And I made a video about psychic attack. Maybe it's not a psychic attack, but yeah, just protection. It's really important to protect your energy. So, oh yes, Eileen.
I would say this last week or so, I've been feeling so much more emotional and a sense of like searching, like not feeling at home, but not really like I don't know, like I'm still searching for like okay, I don't belong here. It just I kind of woke up thinking I don't know where I'm supposed to be. It's just a strange feeling of like my family is somewhere out there, but I don't know what, just that searching feeling.
Okay, okay.
Tricky
I
for me.
think I think a lot of people who got a reading from me feel that way. Like Tia, like you are so from different place, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you felt very uncomfortable because you tend to travel to different parallel world very easily. And most of my clients do understand that and relate to you, Eileen. And my even for myself, like I felt like this was not my home. And but you got to stop. Um, it's like you got to put more focus into your life because we're here as a human, not aliens. Okay, and we got to just accept it. When you are trying desperately, like trying to search for your home, but you're not there. You're here. So it's the balance that's important. And I know people get so curious, but the more you focus on your body and your mind right here at this moment, someone sent me something. It's the more easier you could live. And then when you do that, when you're comfortable living on this earth with your body, then you could start to search slowly to that different dimension. But once you kind of like get curious about the other dimension, it will get very frustrating and stressful because you can't really confirm. You know what I mean? Even if you get a reading from someone, it's like you can't really confirm. It's hard to get validation. So I would say just focus on your body and your present moment. I think that's the important thing for now. But yes, the energy is a lot changing a lot. And okay, so the energy is changing and the ascension is going on. And when your soul, when your spirit is becoming more awakened and it's when it's evolving, um, the the environment is going to change. Like the energy around you is going to change. The people around you is going to change. And the way how I realized that things are changing recently is my client. And it's completely different from, not completely, but it's very different from what the client I was dealing with a couple months ago. So like last year, my clients were a little bit more easier for me to deal with, and I was more comfortable, and I was like so confident that I could help these people. But then starting this year, things are changing, and my clients are becoming a lot more complicated and um, difficult. out of my comfort zone. And sometimes I wonder, like, why am I saying this? Oh my God, this is so out of my comfort zone. Am I sure? I can't prove it to you, but it's just some feeling that I'm feeling. And it's like when someone is so connected to a different dimension, it's really out of my comfort zone because it's not same as where I am connected. Okay. So there's so many different planet or star or energy that's out in the universe. And it's like somewhere, it's a different color. So it's becoming a lot more challenging. And some of my clients are going through counselor for like so many years, and they try like 7 different counselor and nobody helped her. And nobody was able to help her. And she came to a reading from me, and I was able to help her in just 1 hour session. So I was pretty proud of myself. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm getting a lot more challenging clients lately because I am evolving, because I'm going through ascension. So, you know, it's not easy. And spiritual evolution, the ascension, the change, it's not easy. It's very uncomfortable, but it's a good thing because, we all want to evolve. We all came here on this earth to evolve, right? So if it's like steady and like flat and neutral all the time, no bumpy road, you're not going to learn. So it's important that we have those kind of good challenges. But there are some negative challenges. I would say a lesson. Some of my clients are like experiencing, let's say, for example, this woman is experiencing like a bad relationship, and she was desperate to get married, and she got married, and this husband is like very abusive, and then she um, divorced him, and then she moved on to the next relationship immediately. This happens a lot with my client, and I think it's pretty common in the world because people don't want to be by themselves. They're lonely. They want security. They want to be loved. So a lot of women and men have this kind of insecurities, and she would just like, without having some time to heal herself and look at the reason behind it, like, why did I attract this toxic men in my life? Without learning and thinking about her own problem, she would just jump into the new relationship thinking that it will get better. And then the result is always more challenging. It's more bigger lesson because she didn't learn from this first relationship. The challenge becomes even more difficult. So if that's the case, it's not like you're evolving, so bigger challenge is coming. It's more like, hey, you didn't learn the lesson. It's actually a pretty bad sign. So there's two ways to kind of like know if you're evolving or not. And that's my example. I feel it energetically. I notice that the way how I view the world is changing. The way how I sense energy is changing. Like, I can't really explain, but it's a feeling of I know when I talk to my clients how much they're understanding me. And it's like, it's hard to explain. I'm sorry, I can't really explain very well, but you will know that you're evolving when things are becoming more challenging in a good way, not like a bad lesson that you need to learn. It's not like painful, it's not like depressing and sad. It's more like, wow, new challenge. And I guess I could handle this, and
Mhm.
I was able to handle it. And I'm continuously getting more challenging clients every day, and I'm able to help them. So that's how I knew. And then, it's like a more complicated problem. It's like they're so connected to their star, and they don't know how to survive on this earth. And I'm giving them like perfect advice. Like, where is this coming from? I don't know, but it's just the channeling message that I'm giving them. So I think a couple months ago, I wasn't able to do that. But because I am more evolved, I'm more awakened, I'm more connected, I'm able to give them the perfect advice that make total sense to them. It didn't really make sense to me because I'm not them, but then it makes sense to them. So I shouldn't be judging the message that I'm getting. And I should just take out my filter, but deliver the message directly. And then, believe it or not, 100% of the time, my clients understand exactly what I'm talking about. So that's how I realized that I am changing, my energy is changing. And you could also apply that to your life, the people, your friendship, people around you, maybe your partner, husband, relationship. It's going to probably going to change because when you're evolving, if your friends, if your coworker, if your family is also spiritually awakened, it's a good thing. But a lot of times people are not there yet. And if you evolve, you will feel extremely comfortable hanging out with these old friends because they're very egotistical, very self-centered, and they're not spiritual. So if you are more spiritually evolved and the rest of the people are not, there's obviously going to be like a very unharmonious energy and it's uncomfortable. It's not fun at all. And you got to fake yourself and it's not, you'd rather be by yourself. So you could tell if you're evolving or not by like seeing around you. People around you is a mirror. It's a reflection of yourself. So if you are in a good place, you will interact with more of a positive people in your life. And lately I'm getting a lot more psychic people. Like some of my clients are like 100 times more psychic than I am. I don't really consider myself as a psychic, but there's like, whoa, why did you come for my reading? But these people need help because they have that special gift, but they don't know how to use it. And it was like hurting them than helping them. So they came for my reading and then they were like super happy with my reading. And they said, this is what they needed it. So I'm pretty surprised that I'm able to help all these unique people and psychic people. And that's how I figured out that wow, ascension is pretty uncomfortable, but I'm hanging on. So it's important that you, like everybody, to kind of like reflect and evaluate your life. How am I living right now? How is it going? How's my life going on recently? Am I happy with my work? Am I happy with my relationship? If something isn't right, don't ignore it. You got to fix it. You got to fix it. And then fix it, meaning don't try to control other people like your mother, your boyfriend. Don't try to control that. But then look at your shadow. Like, why am I attracting this reality? Why am I involved in this? That means if you're involved in this toxic relationship or environment, that means there's part of your energy that's resonating with this low vibe. So you got to look at yourself and don't try to control other people because that's not going to happen. Okay. So spiritual evolution, very difficult, very boring, very painful, but that's what we all go through. And don't give up because we are here on this earth and all of you, all of the participants today, like all of my clients, usually they are light workers. I hope you know the term light worker. That's like a spiritual term. You came here on this earth to help people, to educate people, to heal people. So if you're not doing that, you're not fulfilling your life mission. Okay. There's a lot of inner wisdom that's in you. You got to remember that. Just because you don't remember in your conscious mind, it's okay because it's all in your soul. Your soul has like, it's like it has a lot of SD card, a lot of USB memory and it's so complicated, but your soul remembers everything. It's difficult for us to remember because as we get older, we are living in this difficult society. People always criticizing you, judging you, hating you, disrespecting you. So we think we're not good enough. Like we dim our light, but you got to undo that and live as a light worker because that's your purpose. And then the way you do it, it's up to you. There's not only just one way. You don't have to be a Reiki healer to do this. You could be a kindergarten teacher. You could be a music teacher. You could be a makeup artist. You could be a custodian, whatever. As long as you have that intention, it's going to work out beautifully. I would say yes, because, just because you're a star seed, it doesn't mean that you're perfect. You just came here with a special purpose. Okay. But we are still humans. We're not aliens. We're humans. Unfortunately, we have skin, we have heartbeat, we have bones, we have brain cells. We are human. Don't forget that. And everybody on this earth is a human, no matter how different their energy is. So every human has ego. Okay. We all have ego. We all have negative things. So it's completely normal. Just because you're a healer, it doesn't mean that you don't have any anger. That's fake. If a healer said, I don't have any anger, I don't have any hate, don't believe in that person. That person's probably fake and not looking at their shadow and arrogant. Okay. Like I never tell people that I'm perfect. I don't believe in that. I know my own shadow. So it's completely normal. It's better not to just ignore the feeling that you're annoyed, but think about it. Why am I annoyed? Why? There's a reason why. So that's your shadow that you need to focus on. To be honest, if you're constantly annoyed, if you're constantly angry or frustrated and radiating negative energy, it is going to prevent you from the ascension. Okay. I'm not saying you're not going to ascend just because you get angry or irritated just one time. It's not just, I can't just explain this to you. Like I can't give you a number. Okay. Just because you're irritated 10 times, it doesn't mean it's okay or bad. It's more about like your constant energy that you're radiating. Okay. So if you could love yourself unconditionally, you'll be able to forgive people. So that's something that you need to work on. I had a conversation with my friend who's like a super duper psychic. And I was telling my friend that, hey, I'm going to have a Zoom meeting this Saturday. And then what should I talk about? I know I'm going to talk about all these things, but I just wanted to know if there's anything that I'm missing. And then she was like, And she said, it isn't an option anymore. And I was like, oh my God, that is so deep. Do you guys understand what that means? It isn't an option anymore. And she didn't give me explanation, but immediately I knew what she meant. I was like, oh my God, that is so deep. I'm going to explain to you. So before this age of Aquarius, this interesting energy shift, it was an option. So something like you don't have to become like spiritually awakened to experience true happiness. Money, fame, wealth, success, all that thing kind of make them happy, even if they were not spiritually evolved and awakened. But now, because of the ascension, because of the new age, energy is changing from like the earthy energy to airy energy. I hope I'm explaining this right. I'm not too familiar with astrology, but that's how it is right now. And it isn't an option. You must become spiritually awakened in order for you to experience the true happiness. And we are here on this earth. Our purpose is to live and to find true happiness. Okay. And people always come up to me and say, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And I tell them, your purpose is to live. So don't die. Because there are some people who try to kill themselves. I got some clients like that. I'm dealing with heavy people, okay? And they try to kill themselves. But I tell them that's not the solution, because if you kill yourself, you're going to go to a very, very low frequency area and then you're going to be stuck there forever. Maybe not forever, but they're usually unhappy. A lot of people who committed suicide, they are extremely unhappy in that area and they regret it. So purpose of every human is to live, to find your true self and to be happy, to find happiness and to live happily. Spiritual evolution, awakening, soul awakening is mandatory. Okay, so that's what she meant by it isn't an option anymore. So you must, the money, the fame, the wealth is not going to make you happy. It's to understand true self and to understand real love, to understand oneness, the fact that we're all connected. That's going to give us the sense of like true happiness. I hope I'm making sense to you. And then she went on. She said, it isn't an option, but it is a choice. So that's pretty self explanatory. It is a choice. You could either choose to live spiritually or choose not to live spiritually. Okay, so this is a major separation that's going on. People who are spiritual are going to move on, but people who don't want to live spiritually are just going to be stuck there forever. Okay, so that's why a lot of relationships might be changing right now. I hope you realize that, because I am facing that right now, and it's been happening for like 1 year. It's very uncomfortable. I'm losing a lot of friends, but I feel great about it. I shouldn't say that, but they basically like frenemy. They were basically like trying to be nice to me, but then they didn't like it when I was being successful. They weren't wishing for my true happiness, but they were more egotistical, and they didn't want me to just see me evolve and succeed. So those people, I just left them behind. I wasn't being disrespectful to them. I didn't be mean to them, but I'm just like, it just kind of like fades away, like that. And it feels amazing because I am very confident in myself that I'm pretty happy. I don't feel lonely. Um, yeah, so it is a choice, and we can't force people to believe in what you believe in. So just because, I understand that if you have a husband, if you have a boyfriend, you want your partner to evolve, but that's you can't control. We are separate soul, okay? You have your own divine timing. Your partner has his own divine timing, his or her, okay? So it's frustrating, but that's unconditional love. You're not judging that person, but you're loving that person no matter what. So even if your partner decides not to go through that awakening or spiritual evolution, you love him unconditionally. And it's up to you to be stuck with him or to move on because your partner is not going to change. I think a lot of people have this problem right now. They don't really want to face it. Yeah, so it's not a choice. And I believe that you guys all made a choice to move on and to find your true self because that's your happiness. We all think like consciously, we all think like we know the truth, but then subconsciously, there's a lot of unknown. Like we don't know why you're here. Do you know why you're here? Do you know why you were born like this? A lot of people don't. And I had the most strongest desire to know the truth, to understand who I am. And I've invested a lot of money and a lot of time trying to figure that out. But just because I invested a lot of money and time, it's not like I got the answer. It's very frustrating because it's something that you're gonna understand once you truly decide to believe in yourself. Once you give yourself a true approval, you will start to find your true self. And this is not going to make sense unless you experience this before. If you did experience, you'll be like, yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Lisa. But then if you didn't experience this, it's not going to really make sense. But it's not about reading a book. It's not about taking a courses. It's more about just going inward. It's not outward, Don't be like an octopus tentacles. It's more of like in. And then all the answer is within you because like I said, your soul has this like so many SD card, It's about activating it. It's about like turning on the switch. And how to do that, you can't really turn on the switch and activate and remember all this memory because of all the fear, because of all the negative energy that you're surrounding yourself with. So that's why I focus on shadow work and I focus on people's childhood trauma. And I always teach about self-love. Self-love is the answer to everything. I always say this, okay? And this life is about body, mind, soul, and spirit. Body, mind, soul, and spirit. So many people are living this life just with body and mind. People ignore the soul and the spirit. It's the balance that's important. It's the balance. And to go through the spiritual awakening and ascension, you can't ignore the body and you can't ignore the soul and spirit. Okay. So people have to become more aware of like what's underneath the surface, what's invisible, what's the energy. And I feel like so many people are becoming more and more awakened. A lot of my clients told me that they went through a major spiritual awakening last year. So 2020, because people were stuck in house, but there was a reason, that was a really good time. People didn't really appreciate the quarantine. And I know I didn't, but because of that, I was able to quit my job and do this full time. So I really appreciate it. And because of that, I was able to connect with all of you and help hundreds of people. So there's reason, you always have to think positively and look at the brighter side. So body, mind, soul, and spirit. And so many people just ignore the soul and spirit. But if you understand what I'm talking about, it's about time for you to start educating more people. Share your wisdom with people. There are so many people who doesn't know about this, because unfortunately this is super duper important, but nobody teaches, like nobody, school, teacher, parents, mentor, people don't teach you about these things, unfortunately. So the age doesn't matter. Some of the children are more spiritually wiser than someone who's 80 years old. Okay. Actually, a lot of younger children are more awakened because they're coming from a different soul group. There's a thing called soul group. And then people around my age is probably indigo. Okay. Um, I'm born 86, 1986, and people who was born around like 1975-ish to 1990, I don't know, I can't really give you the age, but year, but somewhere around there, it's more like indigo soul. And I have mixture of indigo and crystal soul. So I came here on this earth to destroy the old way of living and to create the new energy. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So um like the old outdated way of living is super duper uncomfortable to me, and I will be like very rebellious if people told me to do that. Like if my parents tell me to do that, like believe in old way of doing it, it's not going to happen. And I'm here to create more of a new way of living. And so many people are very outdated. They're very old school, and more younger people are more spiritually evolved. Like they don't care what other people think about you. They are more confident. They're more like easy to reveal that they're gay, lesbian, LGBTQ plus. And it wasn't okay back then. Like, people born in 1930 something, it was not okay because, and they were not able to do that with confidence. They couldn't come out because their soul group is a little like old. And nowadays there's a younger generation, like they have like a rainbow soul. Some of them are from the rainbow, and these kids will see rainbows a lot and they would draw a lot of rainbows in their artwork. And some crystal children who is more psychic, they have a lot of kids nowadays have not in America, but in Japan, a lot of kids have pre-birth memory. Like they have their memory before coming into mother's womb. They see it. And I actually babysit a couple kids who does have a pre-birth memory. And this kid even saw me from the baby land. I know this sounds crazy, but this is a true story. And this boy knew exactly what I was doing, and he knows me. He saw me before coming on this earth. It's pretty amazing. So more younger generation are very spiritually awakened. So you could actually learn a lot from talking to children, without people teaching them. They know spirituality. They understand how nature is important. Some kids have a very special connection, and it's really amazing. So if the mother is spiritual, usually the baby that comes out of the mother is very, very like gifted. And yeah, so that's what I feel. One of the most liked videos that I posted was about Phoenix Eye, and maybe that's how you found me. But if you have like Phoenix Eye on your thumb, like an almond shape ring, not a ring, but line, that means your third eye or your psychic ability is stronger than normal people. And I guess that video was like really, really popular because people want to know, like people want to believe that they have that ability and they want to channel. So many people wants to channel information, and they want to see things that's invisible. They want to see angel, they want to see aura. And so many people are really desperate. Like they tell me, a lot of people left comment like, I have two eyes, I have two Phoenix eye, but I don't see anything. That's bullshit. That's messed up. You're lying. And some people say that. I don't really care what they say, but but everybody has potential. Even without a Phoenix eye, I don't really have clear Phoenix eye, but I could see things. Okay, so not that I don't believe in it, but it's just like everybody have potential, and this is not the only identification. Okay, and I realized that channeling information or talking to spirit is one of the most popular topic. I was constantly see an advertisement on media like Instagram, how to channel angels, or how to see your past life, how to talk to your ancestors, you know, 2-day course, $200. I mean, no, $2,000. They're usually pretty expensive. And I see those ads everywhere. And I hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. Maybe you haven't, but it's everywhere. And when I first saw it, I was like, no way, this is a scam. It doesn't work that way. And maybe I'm being a bitch, I don't know. So I asked my best friend, and she is a super duper psychic. And I asked her, hey, what do you think about this ad? I saw this and I don't believe in this. I think this is a scam. I don't think it's that easy. It's not about paying money and you will be gifted. Okay. And she was like, you're absolutely right. They're just doing it for money. It doesn't work this way. Okay. Um, they might teach you some technique, but it's not like they guarantee. It's not what you think it is. Okay. A lot of times it's not what you think it is. And to be honest, I don't think this company cares if you are able to channel or not. They just want the money. And if they're guarantee you to like give your money back if you're not satisfied, then maybe you could try it. It's worth a try. But usually it doesn't really work that way. Just because you pay $3,000 or more or less, it doesn't mean that you will be able to channel like you imagine, because everybody has their own divine timing. I have my own divine timing. You have your own divine timing. And just because we learn the same textbook at the same time, it doesn't mean that we're all going to be at the same level, channeling message, channeling future. It doesn't work that way. So don't waste your money on that kind of fishy stuff, but do your shadow work, because that is the shortcut. If you don't have a firm foundation, if you don't have a foundation, whatever you do, it's not gonna work out very beautifully. It's not balanced. So there's a reason why you're not channeling information or you're not clearly getting messages. There's a reason why. And the reason is within you. Like, you are not believing in yourself. You're not loving yourself. You're not confident in yourself. If you don't love yourself, just because paying that $3,000, it doesn't mean that you're going to get self-love. All right. So self-love is only what you could do. I can't love you. I can't love for you. And that's going to fill your self-love. It doesn't work that way. So it's mandatory for you to love yourself and align yourself and believe in yourself. And once you do that, all the chakras will open up, all the energy will flow and circulate. Believe it or not, a lot of times people's energy are very stuck. Like, it's not very circulating harmoniously. It's not flowing. It's not like connecting in a healthy way. We are all connected, but it's like stuck, like constipated. So it's important to work on your shadow, and only you could do that. Okay. Maybe it's better to go get a healing or go learn how to heal yourself, or self-healing, rather than going to a channeling class. Because if you don't cleanse your energy, and if you don't align yourself with your true self, and then if you learn those techniques, and let's say you were able to channel the messages, that message could be the low entity. Okay. People think all the messages are from the divine, but that's not the case. Some of the spirits are low. Okay. And people don't really want to believe in that, because they just want to believe that whatever they got was from the angels or the God. Unfortunately, well, yeah, we're all part of God, but some of the messages could be kind of egotistical, and it's not from the pure source. And I could tell, because whenever I watch like people's YouTube or some spiritual influencer, and when I hear their messages, it's like, oh, that's not true. And I wouldn't comment, or I wouldn't go like that to their pages. I would just keep my mouth shut and let them be, let them believe in what they want to believe. But to be honest, like their messages are very, very egotistical. It's not pure love based. And this is just what I feel. And I hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. Some people think they are channeling or they present themselves like they know a lot, but they actually don't. And it's like their message is a little off. And that means they're not really purely connected. Like I was watching this one YouTuber and she said she has so many followers. Okay. She's this like Japanese famous YouTuber, spiritual YouTuber. And she was like, you don't have to forgive everyone. I was like, what? How could you say that? I mean, please don't say something like that because people are going to believe in that. It is mandatory for us humans to forgive everyone if you want to spiritually evolve, because not forgiving someone is a very negative energy, like hate, anger, revenge, that negative energy. And how are you going to spiritually evolve if you have this heavy weight? It's going to be like, and you can't. It doesn't work that way. And I just knew it for sure. But I always love confirmation, getting validation. So I asked my friend, my super duper psychic friend, and she was like, yeah, you're right. It's mandatory to forgive everyone to move on. Like, but it is a choice. Like I said earlier, it is a choice. You could just either forgive that person and move on with the pure light, pure energy, or you could just choose to not forgive this person and then move on, but it's going to affect you energetically, subconsciously. It's not very obvious, but it's just going to be stuck like a little mucus. I don't know if that's a good example, but yeah. So it's a choice. This is some of the important things that you should always remember. My first advice to you is to relax, because a lot of times people are living a very stressful life. And like I could tell how much stress my clients are touching their energy. And then if I tell them to, hey, relax, you need to relax more, but they're so used to like being so busy that they don't know how to relax. I know that sounds kind of crazy to people who's always chill, but to some people it's extremely difficult. They don't know how to relax. Like, yeah. So when our mind is like really busy and preoccupied, how are you going to catch that subtle message that spirits are telling you? And the spirits doesn't have a microphone yelling at you like, hey, listen, don't do this or do that. They're not going to be like that. It's not that obvious. It's more like a split second that you got to catch it. Okay. So if your mind is not relaxed and always like in a survival mode, like I got to do this, I got to get this done, I got to pay rent, too much, you're not going to catch it. It's very subtle. And another thing is being open-minded. People always think, it's easier for us to justify ourselves and be like, I'm open-minded, I'm open to everything, I want to hear. But no, that's what you think in your conscious mind. But in an invisible part, subconsciously, it's a lot more complicated. People don't, in my opinion, people don't want to hear the truth. Almost most of the people don't want to hear the truth. Even my clients, most people don't want to hear the truth, because the moment I try to explain their shadow or this and that happened, I could tell that their energy is like resisting. They don't want to know. Like for some people, I asked them like if they had any bad memory of around this age, and they're like, "Oh, it was pretty good." No, there was something that you don't want to face it, so that's why you don't remember it. But I don't blame you, because your brain is very intelligent and to just delete like negative memories, because we want to believe that we're good, we're good people, we're fine, and we're happy. So our brain is very tricky. They just automatically delete some negative stuff, but subconsciously, it just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay. Like coming on this earth, born on this earth, just because you don't remember the moment you came out of your mother's body, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So that's what a lot of people's a lot of people are misunderstanding, just because they don't remember it, just assume that it's okay. No, people don't want to know the truth because, um, what other example I could tell you? Okay, here's a good example. Let's say you're all single and you met this love of life and you think he's the soulmate, he or she is the soulmate, and then you are so in love, and then you're dating him, you got to date him or her, and then you go to the psychic lady or psychic, and then she tells you, oh, he's going to cheat on you, don't date with him, don't get him, don't, just get away from him. But then you are so deeply in love, and then he's sweet talking to you like, oh, I love you, let's get married, blah blah blah. But you got the warning from the psychic, maybe you got the warning from your mother, your sister, saying, I don't feel good about him. But if you're deeply in love, love is blind, and you would still decide to go have a relationship with him, and then you end up realizing what the psychic told you. So, I'm trying to tell you that it's that hard for people to be really open-minded and to listen to really listen, and they don't want to know the truth, so they would just believe in what they want to believe instead of the truth. And that's what happens a lot of times. Okay. And don't say, oh, that's not me, I'm smarter than that. Just maybe there's a different story that you have that's not relationship. Maybe it's their career, maybe it's, I don't know, something else. But just think about it. Like, what are some of the mistakes that you made? What did you not listen and you regret it? Think about it so you will make the same mistake. And a lot of people do that. and and I don't really get frustrated even dealing with this kind of client, because I just understand that that's human nature. They don't want to listen to me. So it's funny because people come for a reading and they're like, tell me the truth. You could be completely honest with me. I want to know the truth. I want to know my purpose. And then I tell them and they're in denial, like, oh, no, 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 I'm not good at that. And basically they're not ready to hear the truth. So that's why there's bunch of reason why you're not connected to spirits. You're not channeling the message, because a lot of times you only want to hear good stuff. It doesn't work that way. What if the spirits tells you all the things that you don't want to do? Like, let's say spirit tell you, divorce this man if he's not the right person for you. You got to stay single for 20 more years until you meet your soulmate. Quit your job now and go to Fiji and start your own business. What if the spirit tell you all these good stuff, but then you're like so afraid to listen to that? You're not going to listen. You're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I shouldn't. That's what people do. So I understand people are like, I want to know. But then you can't be selective. You can't be selective hearing. If you're going to be opening up your channel, you're going to see all the negative, all the positive. Okay. It's not just the glitters. It's not just the glitters and cotton candy and pretty things that you're going to see. Like, to be honest, when I do wing reading, people think it's fun and pretty, and then it's just a fun painting. Yeah, the wings are pretty. It looks pretty, but then just because the wings are colorful and pretty and vibrant doesn't mean that they don't have any problem. 99% of the people in my Instagram, it's like colorful, but then they all have problem. They all have depression. They all have like heartbroken. They all need serious help. So I'm like 100% of the time tuning into those kind of energy, and nothing is pretty, nothing. Okay. And if I'm going to be like judging people and be selecting, and then if I'm the kind of person who's only wanting to hear the positivity, oh my God, I would be so fake and I wouldn't be able to do this. So it's that difficult. You got to be strong enough to face all the negative and all the ugly stuff. And yet you got to be strong enough to kind of like guide them to the right direction, give them the first step so that they won't feel lost. Because if I give them like a bigger picture, let's say you're kind of like depressed, and if I tell this person that you're going to be amazing healer, you're going to save the world, this person's like, what are you talking about? They need a first step. What is the next first step? I can't give them a big picture yet because they're not even seeing the first step that's in front of them. Okay. So I don't know why I'm telling you this, but yeah, maybe once you are ready, you're going to be explaining to people about this, because there's a lot of people who need your help. Okay. And I can't help everyone. And I need more light worker. The earth need more light worker. And people need to help each other. They need to help people, encourage people to become more spiritual. And when someone is ready, they will come to you. They will find you. But you also have to be willing to do that. And when you are strong enough, you will get more guidance. You will get more messages from the spirit, because the spirits know that you're going to help people. They're going to use you to deliver messages. Okay. Now, I'm not gifted like this for my own selfish purpose. I am able to do this because I'm actually taking action, spending time and energy to help people. So the spirits know who to help, who to give information. Okay. So if you want to get more information, get more messages, you got to be the light worker, the true light worker, not just someone who would just use it for your own benefit, or who just want to be famous or popular or think they're better than others. If you're like that, if you have too much ego, the spirits know that. And even if they're not perfect, even if they have a lot of ego, they could still, they will, some people are still able to connect and get messages. But like I said, it's not like they're connected to the high dimension. Okay. There's a different level. There's an invisible dimension, and there's a different level. Those people who's very egotistical, but they kind of present themselves as a channeler and deliver messages, they're probably connected to like kind of like not so high, but they want to believe that they're in a high dimension. Like they want to believe that they're connected to the wonderful ascended master. But their messages are a little bit more egotistical. And I know that ascended master wouldn't say such thing. So it's important to work on yourself. Just because people are channeling, it doesn't mean that they're connected to the highest divine energy. Okay. And I think you guys all feel that. Like somehow you know, looking at those people on social media, you know that this person is nice. I know some people like who? Well, maybe I shouldn't be judging them. Forget about that. Yeah, but yeah, your intuition will tell you like what's okay and what's not okay, or who's real and who's not real, because there's a lot of fake people out there. But yeah, they will go through their spiritual evolution at their own divine timing, and I respect that. So I think you guys are familiar with like a clairsentience, clairvoyant, claircognizance, clairaudient. So we all have different strength and weaknesses. Believe it or not, I'm not very clear. What was it? Clear audience. Audience. I don't really see, I don't really hear it. I just read all my energy with my hands. That's how I do it. I literally just don't use my eyes. I close my eyes when I do it, and I go like this. And I just move my hand and see where the blockage is. And when I find a block spot, it hurts my hand like, ouch. Whew, it hurts. It really hurts. It's like, bam. And then I would tune into that and see like, okay, when did this happen? Okay, 4 to 5 years old. From who? Parents. Okay. And sometimes I would get the gender mixed up, or maybe it's your mom, but I say it's your dad. I do make mistake. I'm not perfect, but I would sense it. And then I'm basically sensing it. And then somehow I just know it. I never met your parents, but I just know how your parents are, how their personality is. Maybe it's your grandfather who passed away, but I would connect with them. And that's just my strength. I never knew that. I never knew it, but it's just my strength. So my strength is not like looking at people's aura and seeing colors. When I look at people's aura, I would have to close my eyes because stuff is very distracting to me. So I would just close my eyes and try to see the energy. Um, and I don't hear words at all. I wish I can and I want to, but that's just not me. I don't hear words. And when I say something like, oh, your ancestor is saying this, I don't actually hear words. I'm just translating the energy verbally. I hope this makes sense to you. But that's how it is. And then everybody has your own weaknesses and strength. So if you know what your strength is, try to polish that, try to believe in that, try to pay more attention to that. If you're not the kind of person who will see things with your eyes, then don't try too hard. That's not your strength. Okay. So understand your strength and weakness is important if you want to get more messages, because it's not just about seeing or hearing, it's more like a feeling. And I think a lot of times it's just a feeling, like your intuition is going to tell you, or it's just a feeling of knowing, or you might see in your dreams. Like I don't dream, I don't remember my dreams, so I'm not the kind of person who will get information from dream, but maybe that's the way how other people might get it. A lot of my clients are very dreamy people. I want to explain about my experience when I was shopping at a supermarket. So there's a market called the Sprouts in California, and I was pushing my cart, shopping, and then I saw a banana on the shelf. Banana. And do you guys know what Chiquita is? Chiquita brand? If you're living out in America, you've seen these before. Chiquita. Okay. All right. So Chiquita, look at it carefully. She has a hat, and then there is a fruit on her head. Okay. She has it's a hat, but when I first saw it, I thought it was a basket on top, and I thought she was going like, I don't know, like this or something like that. I thought it was a basket, but when I saw this other version of the picture, I actually realized that it was a hat, and then she had a bunch of fruits. And then when I saw this image on a banana grocery shopping, out of the blue, I was like, the information got downloaded in me, and I was like, oh my God, this is life. This is the universe. This is the answer. I know it sounds crazy, but can you guys guess? Yes, Chiquita Banana. I know. And how is this alive? Lisa, are you nuts? And I'll explain to you what I got. Like, it's just the feeling of download, like, oh, wow. And at that time, I was searching for the truth. So I was getting a lot of message at that time. It was probably like, I don't know, 5 years ago. And I'm just sharing this with you right now. So basically, all these fruits that's on top of your head is something that you want. Okay. Money, time, youth, health, house, vehicle, everything that you want, talent, gift. And then all the thing that you want is above here, but you can't see it because there's a basket on top. There's a basket, and this basket is like, it's like a weaved basket, and then it's tightly weaved, so you can't really see between the gaps. So you have no idea what's above there. Is it a banana? Is it an apple? Pineapple? You can't see it. So people are always like, I want it. I need it. I want it. Because they don't believe that they have it. They don't believe. So they always focus on what they don't have, and they will like, I want it, I want it, I want it. If you are radiating the energy of I want, that means you're admitting to yourself that you don't have it. That's why you are wanting it, because you don't have it, which means when you want more, you're just radiating the energy of I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And then when you don't have it, you're going to create the reality of not having it, because that's your energy. That it's a law of reflection, law of frequency. Okay, it's the law of universe. So if you don't have it, it's like you're admitting that you don't have it, and because of the basket. But if the basket weaving is a lot more loose and there's a gap in between, you could see what's above your head. You'll be like, oh, I smell banana. I smell pineapple. I could see how red the apples are. You could see it. So you could be more like confident and comfortable, because you know it's there. You know it's coming. You trust because you just know it. And People's basket are made differently. Some people's basket are more tightly weaved and other people's are more loose. And then you could see it. If you could see more, you trust more, you know what's coming. So you don't have to be desperate. So you don't have this energy of want it, I want it, I want it, I want it so bad to win a lottery. You're not going to be desperate. You're just like, I believe in a divine timing. I see it right there and I know what's coming. Okay. So you could be more laid back, you could trust, you could be yourself. You know when the right timing is. Like you might not know the right timing, but you just know that it's coming. And why are people's basket made differently? And the gap you see in between. The tight people, they're closed. Their chakras are closed. Their heart chakra is closed. They don't believe it. They're not open. They're not open mind. And if you're more like believe in yourself, if you love yourself, if you're confident, if you're not controlling, then your energy flows more fluidly and your heart is open. You surrender. So you trust in the universe. So I was like, whoa, that's life. That's universe. And I bought the banana. So it's like, oh my God, these random information. So, like I said, it's not like I hear the words. It's not like I see something. I just saw the bananas. And then this is what I got. It's so deep. It's the answer to everything. Okay. And pay attention because the signs are everywhere. You can learn from everywhere, everything in your life, just by looking at the trees, just by looking at the moon, the sun, the wave. You can learn a lot about why you are here and what the important thing about life. Don't ignore. So spirituality is about like having that strong connection with the invisible realm, the water spirit, the fire spirit. It's about the invisible realm. So if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss it. But the signs are everywhere. You don't have to find a mentor. You don't have to go get reading every month. You don't have to, spend thousands of money investing in expensive courses. Okay. Sometimes, I mean, this is all part of lessons. So I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to stop you, but you will realize that the answer that you're searching is a lot more simple and it's a lot closer than you think it is. You think it's like 100 miles away, but the answer is all here, right here. And it's um to open that answer, it's like you really, really got to love yourself because it's not all about the pretty stuff. So you got to be strong enough to see the ugly stuff and accept it. Okay. I don't know if you know this, but there's a magic soap, Dr. Bronner's. Do you know this? It's a soap bar. Yeah. These they sell these at Trader Joe, Dr. Bronner's, and it says all one, all one. And they're trying to say it's all in one. Like you could brush your hair, you could wash your hair, you could wash your face, you could wash laundry, you could wash dishes. You could use it for multiple purposes. And that's what they're trying to say, all one. But when I open the package, when I rip open a package, the soap bar it's engraved, it says all one. And when I saw that, I was like, this is the answer. This is the answer. You know how simple it is? That's how I get the answer. People go all over the place, try to find a spiritual teacher. I mean, those people are important. Like, yeah, I think my job is important too. But then answer is like there, all one. We have to realize that we are all connected as one. There's no separation. People just live with body and mind. So it's like my body, this is me, your body, that's you, that's your problem, you know. But no, one person's problem is the whole community's problem, the world's problem. The war that's going on right now, you know, that's not their problem and none of my business. No, it's my energy that's part of that consciousness. Are you following me? It's like it is the humans mass conscious energy that's creating the chaos in this world. Okay, so we can't just blame our president for all the mess, because our mass conscious energy is responsible for the incident, the president. You know, we are creating that reality. It doesn't matter if you voted for someone or not, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that it's a oneness. Your energy, you and I are connected. That's why I could do reading for you even if I've never seen you before, because as a spirit we're all connected, and in that dimension there's no boundaries, there's no line, there's no language, there's no time. Okay, it's all connected, and we always have to remember that. So if you're disrespecting someone, that means you're disrespecting yourself. That's why it's so important to love yourself, because if you love yourself you will love others. You could love others. If you care for yourself you could care for others. It doesn't happen the other way. You know, it's not like you don't care for yourself but you always care for others. People sometimes say that, but that's not like the true care. That's not the true genuine energy. They're doing it like conditionally. It's not unconditional love. So it's so important that you realize the invisible realm and respect that. You know, respect your soul, respect other people's soul, because we're all connected as one. You know, what I'm trying to tell you is that the teacher is within you, you know, and we all have higher selves, which is like the greater part of you. And your higher self knows everything. That means you know everything. You are part of the higher selves. So if you are wanting to find out an answer, it's important that you ask yourself, you meditate, you quiet your mind. So make sure you do that. Try to make some quiet time for yourself and try to connect with your spiritual self and ask. And it's not like you're going to hear words, but it's just intuition that's going to come to you. The first card I pulled it's called Potential. It's like looks like Mount Fuji, but it's like a galaxy. It's really beautiful. It's a mountain, and this is potential. So makes sense. Everybody has potential. Okay. Basically, we're all born psychic, but it um, people don't know how to use it. People don't know how to activate it. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to see the potential in you. If I tell you that, oh my God, you're going to be a wonderful healer and you're going to be such an important person on this earth, you're going to be a spiritual teacher. If you don't believe in yourself, my word is not going to, you're not going to understand my words. Okay. So it's so important that you accept yourself and understand and be willing to um, make changes for the better, because we all have potential. A lot of people really don't really love themselves. And I'm not really talking about the shallow self-love. I'm talking about like really, really deep self-love. You know, sometimes I ask my client, like, hey, do you love yourself? And you're like, and this one girl was like, yeah, I love myself. But I was like, I already knew she didn't love herself. So why did I ask? I asked because I wanted to know how much she understand about herself. That's the only reason I asked. I already knew that she didn't love herself, but she said, yeah, I love myself. See how much they're disconnected. She's This girl was obviously having a depression and she did not love herself at all. But I was pretty surprised that she said she loved herself. And that's how much people are disconnected from their true self. They're not understanding who they truly are or what they're going through, what's around their energy. And like, sorry, I kind of got off track, but people don't understand their gift, their potential, because they, a lot of people kind of think that they're not good enough. And it's also because a lot of adults in the society kind of manipulated them and brainwashed them. So they don't really believe in themselves. A lot of people think they do. Yeah, I believe in myself. Yeah, I love myself. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in myself. But no, it's not the true confidence. When it becomes, when I tell them something like, oh, why don't you do this? And they're gonna start making excuses like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I'm too old. I don't think I like that. Like they will start making excuses. It's because they don't want to challenge themselves, because they don't want to believe that they could do it. They don't want to see them make mistakes or failure. Okay, they're afraid to fail. But failure is not a bad thing. As long as you learn from it, that's something that you should treasure. Failure is amazing because you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn what not to do. You're going to learn how to improve. So, as long as you learn from it, failure is a great thing. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because we all have potential. But if you have fear inside of you, you're not going to see what your gifts are. Because only if you take the leap of faith, the gift box is going to open up and you will see what's inside. Okay, you're not going to get all the answers right away. Sometimes you really got to take a leap of faith to understand, wow, I could do this. Like I never knew that I could do all this, to be honest. I never knew. But there's like a hand. This is like an invisible hand. Two hand, not invisible. There's like a handshake. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. It says expansion. If you start to channel, if you start to connect more with that invisible realm, meaning if you start to connect more with your true self, you will start to connect more with the universe. And then there will be unlimited like energy that's going to flow through you. People feel limited. People always feel limited, like, oh, I can't channel, I can't see, I'm not good enough, because that's what you believe. Okay, you got to uninstall that false belief system and then start to really tune into your true self. And when you do that, you will know that energy is unlimited. There's unlimited possibility. There is no limitation. Okay, there is no such thing as you're too old, you're too young, you're not good enough, you shouldn't be doing that. That's all like really outdated. And I guess right now, people living in this age are kind of like uncomfortable because there's a lot of like old school energy, or the way they live, the society that's influencing, because there's like old outdated people still there. It's a little challenging for us to kind of be super duper spiritual and be okay with that. Sometimes you care about what other people think about you. Yes, energy at limitless. Exactly. There's unlimited possibility. If you believe in that, you're going to live that. Your energy will expand. Okay. That's why you could heal someone remotely from someone like in the other side of the world, because energy is unlimited. The more you learn how to use your energy, you will know that energy is unlimited. That's why I don't say, okay, I could only read for people who lives in LA. I don't do that because it doesn't matter where they're from. I live from people in Netherlands, Puerto Rico, Peru, UK, Finland, like places that I've never been before. I don't even know where they're located. I don't even look at the map. But yeah, it's possible because there's no limit. Don't limit yourself. It's the life is a lot more exciting when you think like that. And the last card I pulled, it's like this woman is facing down, and then there's like a body of water, and it says, "I remember, I remember." Soul plan the fated life versus the destiny life. Don't think like you don't know, because if you keep saying, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know," what are you radiating? What kind of energy are you radiating? If you keep saying, I don't know, I'm stuck. I'm not good enough. You're radiating that negative energy. That's why you're creating that life where you're feeling stuck. Okay. So if you want to unstuck yourself, come out of that stuckness, is that a word? You gotta stop saying that. At least stop saying it. I know you're not going to get the answer immediately, but at least stop that negative thinking and start saying, I remember. Pretend like you know it. Pretend. Trick your brain, okay? Pretend like you know it. And then it's going to come to you more easily rather than saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Because if you say that, you're just pushing back all the information like shoo, shoo, shoo. But just be more open, be more accepting. Know that you know it because you do. Like your soul remembers it. It's just your conscious mind that you don't remember, but your soul, your subconscious mind remember. And then when you try to accept messages or try to find an answer, do not don't be picky. And a lot of times people are picky, even if they say, oh, I'm not picky, I'm ready to know the truth. What if the spirits tell you something that's so uncomfortable to you? Would you do it? You would try to justify yourself. You would try to pretend like, oh, I didn't hear that. For example, the spirits might tell you something that is like your least favorite. Maybe you're the kind of person who doesn't want to travel, but then the spirit tells you to travel around the world to educate people, to heal people. I mean, that sounds exciting. That's something that I would love to do. But for some people who has a fear of traveling or going on an airplane, that's a disaster. So don't be picky, be open, but it is your choice. Just because the spirit told you to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Okay? But the more you listen to the spirit, the better it is. I have a friend who is like a super duper natural psychic, amazing channeler. She get information, very precise, detailed information all the time. Do you think she's happy? She is not, because she doesn't love herself. She doesn't know how to believe in herself. And she is not a good listener. She get messages, but she cannot apply it to her life because there's so much fear. Because she went through a lot. Because she went through a lot being born as a natural psychic. She was hurt. There's a lot of fear that's inside of her. So something simple as meditating, she can't even do it, no matter how many times her ascended master tells her to meditate, to love yourself, believe in yourself. She got that message 1,000th time. She can't do it. So she's not listening to the spirits. So she is not really, really, really happy and she feels stuck. But she's getting all the advice. As long as she do follow the spirits, listen to them, she's going to be all right. But she can't do it. It's not that easy for her. It's really easy for me. But, I didn't live her life. So I don't know what it's like to be in her shoe. So people have different problems. Just because they're a channeler, just because they see all the future and get all the message, it doesn't mean that they can live a happy life. And there's a lot of different struggle. So be prepared. I think you will get a lot more information in the future. And it's not easy. It's always challenging because, you need that challenge to evolve. How are you going to go ascend if there's no mountains to climb? You know what I mean? If it's just flat surface, how are you going to ascend? You really can't, because it's just like, you need that challenge. So you could be like, I'm going to take the leap of faith and, one day quit your job and then be freelance and boom. That's how you evolve. So there's always like a scary moment. There's always that uncomfortable feeling. But that's a good sign because that's when you know that I'm challenging myself. It's the next stage. That's how you go to the next stage.